Alright, what is up everybody? This is Zacharias. We are back with more of Geneforge 2 Infestation. Let's continue. To survive, you will probably need to make creations to serve you. You can do this by pushing the Make Creation button above. First, select the sort of creation you want to make. But at the beginning, you can only make a Fiora of a large fire-breathing lizard. You learn to make more varieties later. Then on the edit screen, you can spend essence to increase the creation's level or give it new abilities. Finally, press the OK button to make your creation. Essence spent making a creature can't be regained until the creation dies or you absorb it. The wind carries to you the sounds of growling and hissing, followed by a whooping laugh and an explosion. Sounds like Shanty has found some rogues to fight. She's probably enjoying it. There is a building to your right, almost overgrown by the hardy, twisted desert flora. Maybe there is something useful inside. Inside the building, you will find healing and essence pools. There are also books which will teach you about making creations and casting spells. These are skills you will need to survive. This is a small shaping chamber. It is in buildings like these that shapers make new creations. They use healing and essence pools to recharge themselves. If you stand next to the pools, you will be healed and energized. Shanty has left some things here for you. There is a healing pod and a shield on the table. Also, there are 2 books around the corner left here for the instruction of young shapers. Essence is represented by the green bar to the right of your main character's graphic in the roster. Use Essence to make creations and cast some more powerful spells, like healing. When you spend Essence to cast spells, you get it back by returning to town or by approaching an Essence pool, like the one nearby. However, making creations reduces the maximum amount of Essence you can have. If you have a total of 30 Essence, for example, and you make one Fiora which costs 10 Essence, then your new maximum is 20. You can't get the other 10 back until the Fiora dies or you absorb it. It's up to you whether to make a lot of weak creations, a few strong creations, save your Essence for spells, or a mix of the 3. Geneforge 2 makes all of these options viable. Okay, I already knew that one. There is a Thod standing on the road ahead, a brutish creation used to defend roads and towns. Something about its movements bothers you. It seems rogue. Rogue creations are out of shaper control and can attack without warning. You may be about to enter a battle. During combat, you and your foes will take turns moving and attacking. You can leave combat when your foes are distant or dead. To attack a foe, select the space it is standing in. To use one of your abilities against an enemy, press the use ability button. Shanty already taught you how to cast the firebolt and minor heal spells. The Thod stumbles up and down the path, mostly lost in a strange mental world. Though you must concentrate on it now, you can sense the presence of other creations stumbling through the nearby thickets. The Thod stares at you with a confused look on his face. Roar! Roar! Then it bares its teeth in an unacceptable show of defiance. The Thod is unstable, but it isn't fully rogue. You might be able to exercise some control over it. Thod, where are you from? The Thod raises its arms into the air. Roar! Only a few Thods can actually talk. Shapers usually direct simple creations like this design by magically extending their will. You concentrate and extend your will, attempting to pacify the confused Thod. The beast shakes its head and whimpers. After one last defiant growl, it looks at you. You stare the muscular beast in the eyes. Then it looks down at the ground, newly submissive. It turns and stumbles peacefully away. It should be safe long enough for you to find out what is happening in Drypeak. Your leadership skill was high enough to calm this creation. You get experience for this, but you won't get experience if you return and kill pacified creations later. You will need to keep a safe distance from other creations to evade them. Okay, so 20 essence, 32 energy, 54 health right now. All the XP I can get. The small shop has been effectively demolished by the rogues. This is unusually vicious destruction even for a mad creation. The only things left intact are a few pots. Maybe there's something of value inside them. To search a pot, box, nest, or other container, select it. Okay, I don't care to wear that cloak, so I'm just going to move on here. Having dispatched the cluster of rogues, Agent Shanty turns to you. He hasn't even broken a sweat. He inspects your condition and nods. I see you dealt with the rogues I left for you. Good. It's important to know how to defend yourself. However, apprentice, there is something you should remember. Combat is not the only way to achieve your goals. Stealth and diplomacy work as well. If you wish to avoid battle, I suspect that, in practically every case, there is a way to. How can I avoid battle? A truly skilled shaper can complete missions without ever attacking a foe directly. There are usually three routes: diplomacy, tinkering, and stealth. Diplomacy. Words can convince intelligent foes to help you instead of hindering you. A strong will can bring some weaker creations back under your control. Increasing your leadership skill gives options in conversation that can make your missions much easier. Tinkering. There is likely to be a lot of shaper machinery up in these mountains. Some of it may be dangerous. Skill with living tools can disarm traps or even turn them against your foes. Increasing your mechanics skill enables you to master shaper machinery with a variety of beneficial effects. Stealth. A foe that never sees you won't attack you. If an enemy is less alert and you keep your distance, you might avoid it entirely. If you increase your stealth skill, enemies have to get closer to you to detect you. I will take your advice. Listen to my words, but don't be bound by them. The route of the pacifist is a hard one. I personally tend to lean towards more violent ways of purging rogues and traitors. What if the way I want to go is completely blocked by enemies? Then look for a different route. If you find that the obstacles in one area are insurmountable, go elsewhere. In my experience, there is almost never only one route to a goal. Weren't you scared being outnumbered like that? Scared of our creations? We are shapers. We are the absolute masters of the life we create. Heaven help us all if it should ever be otherwise. Why are there rogues here? He looks at a dead Fiora and frowns. I do not know. It is a shameful state of affairs, at the minimum. Need to find out what is happening here. The state of this colony is a disgrace. We shall continue. Follow. The road ahead is blocked by a large stone gate. Agent Shanty stares angrily at it, muttering to herself. After the battle to the south, you start to wonder if you should have some creations of your own to control. You have learned how to make a Fiora, one of the most common defensive forms available to new shapers. If you want to make a creation, press the plus button in the roster to begin. To find out what a skill does, click on its name. Press the plus button by a skill to spend skill points to improve it. Then when you're done, press the check button. You have reached Drypeak's customs gate. All Shaper settlements have a portal where visitors are questioned and searched. Normally there would be guards here waiting to search you for contraband and forbidden bits of shaping. However, there is nobody here. The main gate is closed. The door to the guardhouse off to the side is closed and locked. It doesn't look at the moment like there is any way in. For the first time, you start to wonder if there are any people in Drypeak at all. To proceed, you will need to find a way to get this gate open. Agent Shanty stands next to the locked door of the customs gate. She is furious. She twists her tooth necklace absently in her fingers as she thinks about what to do. What is that necklace? Shanty notices that she is toying with it. She drops her hand. Just an innocent piece of jewelry. No special powers, none at all. This conversation option was available to you because you have some leadership skill. The more you have, the better conversation options are available. The gate is locked. Yes, and unguarded. Nobody here to let us in. Someone is going to answer for this. I'll make sure of that. Isn't it supposed to be guarded? Yes, someone should be watching this road even if they didn't know we were coming. Word was sent. We should be greeted. This is an insult. What should we do? What I want to do is tear this gate down with my bare hands. This is an insult. To leave a gate abandoned like this in a Shaper settlement? Unacceptable. Still, it is a good chance for you to practice your skills in a field setting. You might want to make a creation to aid you, though. What are you going to do? Shanty raises an eyebrow. What am I going to do? Well, I'm going to start by standing here. Then I'm going to tell you to look around. Then I'm going to have lunch. Be a good apprentice and see if you can find a way around this gate. Run along. I will see what I can find. You do that. Try not to be too long. You hear squealing and chittering from the thicket to the north. There are little dark, fanged creatures trying to conceal themselves back here. Not Fiora, smaller and weaker. They are creations. Alas, you recognize the design. They're huge, twisted rat things. Creations, but not a sort anyone is allowed to make. They are scavellings, a modified variant of the huge rats to the south. A notorious pest and forbidden creation type. Shy but hungry and vicious when you get close. You wonder what Shanty would say about this. There are some rusty tracks on the ground here. At one end, they have been torn up. At the other end, they've been overgrown. Drypeak is definitely a mining colony. There are several large nests back here made from trash and twisted sticks. The scavengers here might have found something interesting. To search a nest, click on it. Okay, we got a bronze sword. The nest primarily consists of junk. However, you do find something interesting in this one. There is a small iron key on a leather thong. Some guards must have dropped it and a scavenging found it. You take the key and pocket it. When you try to open the door this key unlocks, you will open the door automatically. You find that someone has barred the door into the southern building from this side. You unbar it. There is another building to the north. The sturdy iron-bound doors are closed. Agent Shanty stares at the closed unguarded gate and sees quietly. Occasionally, she tugs a tooth on her necklace. Any progress, Eve? I found a key. Interesting. Try it in the door. See if you can find a way to get this gate open. There are scavengers here. She takes it surprisingly well. Just a calm nod. A forbidden pest creation allowed to take root and roam free. Interesting. I did not think I could be angrier, and yet here we are. Seeing Shapers Zachariah and Barzal is even more urgent now. Someone must answer for this. You enter the customs office. Not surprisingly, nobody is here. However, it doesn't look like it has been abandoned for long. There are cloaks hanging on the wall, and the table isn't dusty. There is a lever in the middle of the room. Perhaps it is a control for the gate. Select the lever to pull it. Opening the doors ahead will require you to find a key. You try to pull the lever only to find out the mechanism is completely jammed. You can't figure out how to fix it. Right, I think I already knew that. Yeah, I won't be able to get into that room there. This is the weapons storeroom. Most of the racks and shelves are empty. A lot of guards have been taking weapons lately. One useful thing was left behind, though. There is a baton on the table at the north end of the room. A baton is a missile weapon. It is a mix of living and non-living matter, a creature created by shapers which lives in a thin metal frame. It is bred to spit thorns when its tail is squeezed. The sharp and venom thorns can do a lot of damage. There are also some thorns on the table. This weapon will be very useful. Equip a baton like any other weapon. A fully loaded baton contains 6 thorns. When the weapon is empty, you will reload it automatically. Okay, I'm not going to worry about batons or thorns at all, since I have magic. But if you were a guardian, then you would definitely use batons and thorns. And javelins as well, now that I think about it. Alas, the customs hall is not entirely abandoned. You see another feral creation in the hall to the north. A long, glistening Artilla is slithering around, leaving a trail of slime as it attempts to detect prey. The bones of several victims litter the floor around it. Artilla are dangerous. If you keep your distance, you might be able to slip around it. Some encounters can be evaded with stealth. Foes only notice you if you get close enough. A question mark warning will appear when you are close to being noticed. Raise your stealth skill to reduce the distance where they can detect you. Yeah, I'll go ahead and fight it, actually. This was the quarters for the captain of the guard. Nobody is here at the moment. You notice the crystal on the table to the north. These crystals are a useful magical weapon. When thrown at a foe, they turn into powerful bolts of energy. Crystals are not usually made by shapers. They are mere rocks charged with magic and thus beneath your kind. They are useful nonetheless. To use a crystal in your pack, use the ability button on the main screen, then select an enemy. What does the laboratory lamp do? I guess we can sell it. Let's have a little bit of value. Not enough living tools though. Visitors to Drypeak were expected to sign this book. You don't see anything unexpected. Merchants came up here a few times a year. The most recent caravan came through about 3 months ago. Finally, you have reached the front gates of Drypeak. You are very relieved by what you hear. Ahead, floating to you on the wind, you hear the shouts of merchants, the sounds of boots clicking against cobblestone roads, the grunts of the survivors working in the fields. Drypeak is still a functioning settlement. However, their gate to the outside world is abandoned and overrun with rogues. Why? Hopefully, you and Shanty will be able to solve some of this mystery. Once Shanty enters Drypeak, the tutorial section of Geneforge 2 is concluded. Head north to resume your training, try to locate Zachariah and Barzal, and find out what happened to the settlement. At the far end of this neglected trash pit, you find another sign of shape for neglect. A nest of scuttlebugs has established itself here. Like scavenging, scuttlebugs are a shaper mistake, a verminous, crop-eating pest that escaped from your labs and spread. Harmless to you, they are terrors to farmers. They are easy to crush and almost impossible to eradicate. Shapers came to these mountains to shape a new ecology and settle them. This is another sign that the experiment is going very badly. Shanty strides up to you quickly. She is in the mood for a good rant. Rogues everywhere. The customs gate locked. The main gate unguarded. Nobody here to greet us. This is a disgrace. You got the gate unlocked. I feel you could have been faster. I'm sorry. I will do better. Agent Shanty nods. Your civility is noted and appreciated, though you may wish to learn to advocate for yourself at some point. We will discuss the finer points of your performance later, at length. For now, there is an immediate lesson I must give you. What lesson is that? Apprentice, always remember this. We Shapers are respected and feared. Why? Because we have great power and keep it secret from outsiders? Perhaps. Because we kill anyone who steals and misuses our powers? In part. We Shapers are respected most of all because we look, to outsiders, flawless, perfect. We may argue internally, but to the outside world, we never look weak. Zachariah and Barzal have failed in this. The settlement makes us look like fools. Now, you and I will find them, and we will find out why this disaster has been allowed to happen. We have much to do, and I have much to teach you. Come. She turns on her heel and strides towards the settlement of Drypeak. Before you finish the tutorial, you should know about the journal and the quest list. If you want to review your notes or be reminded of your current quest, press the journal button. You will be able to see what special items you have found, dialogue you have recorded while talking, and what quest you have been given. And remember, if you forget what the buttons do, you can get a reminder by hovering the cursor over them. Okay, that cost me my living tools, but at least we got some stuff in here we can pick up. At last, one of the residents of Drypeak has come to greet you. He is a common warrior wearing a captain's insignia. He has dark circles under his eyes, and his armor is old, worn, and dusty. He is not happy to see you. Welcome, travelers. He begins, I am Captain Takina. I am sorry for our tardy greeting. We must be cautious. Lately, we have had troubles. Can I ask you to identify yourselves? You take a step back, confident your trainer will have something to say. You aren't disappointed. Captain Takina looks at Agent Shanty. You command, yes? May I see your credentials? Captain Takina's words only infuriate Shanty further. He says in an icy voice, Drypeak receives an envoy from the Shapers and only a mere captain is sent to greet us? This is an insult. Take me to Zachariah immediately. I will only speak my business with him. Takina looks nervous, like he doesn't want to take you anywhere. I am sorry, Honored Shaper. I see you have traveled far. However, I have orders from my own Shaper. I can't let you proceed without evidence that you have business here. Shanty is quiet. She seems to be sizing up the situation, or getting her rage under control. One of the two. Our orders are to be delivered to Zachariah personally. He will not appreciate us being delayed. Shanty and Takina turn to you, surprised. They both forgot that you were there. Normally, the command of an apprentice carries very little weight. However, your words strike home. Takina looks doubtful. Shanty presses the advantage. Our orders must be given to Zachariah directly, and it will not go well for anyone if our time is wasted further. Kina says, "Alright, I will take you to Zachariah in the research warren. Any treachery will be met with blades." He turns and walks off to the north. Chanty turns to you. "I see you are not a fool. Good. You can follow us right now to meet Zachariah, or you can take some time to look around this town first and see what you can learn. This option was open to you because you have some leadership skill. The more you get, the better your conversations will go." Okay. You get your first good look at the remote settlement of Drypeak. It's not wealthy or properly maintained, but it's also not as awful as you imagine. It's a valley of dusty, crumbling shops along clustered along a single road. To the north, you can hear survivors working on Drypeak's excuse for crops. Far to the northwest, you can just make out the entrance to the mine, the sole reason Drypeak exists. Though the ground is mostly barren, a number of shaped palm trees have taken root. These were brought from some desert and magically altered into flora that can live in this high, arid climate. However, these trees are growing too quickly. They're like weeds, thick, wiry, mostly useless, and desperate to destroy what few roads and structures the survivors have managed to build. All in all, this place is dry, cramped, and unpleasant. You look forward to meeting with Zachariah and Barzal and then getting out. Alright. You stand at the entrance to a huge subterranean hall. You expected to find something like this. This will be the research warren where shaping of new life forms takes place. The leaders of the settlement likely live here too. If you want to find Zachariah and Barzal and get answers about what's happening here, this is a great first place to look. Alright. Well, I actually am going to take the time to explore the whole town first, so I'm going to actually save the game right here and call it for this part, but I'll see you all in the next.